Hello YouTube, come join the streams because we do a lot more than just reacting over on stream. I would love to have you around and let me know if you do. Also, we are going to watch the current state of Hololive and graduated members by the press Nousagi because we just watched Rima's video on Saba, which was a great video. I really enjoyed it. Either way, let's get right into it.
Hololive. They
Hololive.
find themselves in a bit of a divisive spot right now, to be honest. There's like 4 different yabs that happened within the past 3 months alone, and all of them are quite yabby.
Oh.
In fact, the Doom posting for all of this happened a year and a half ago, when the mass graduations of Hololive members signaled this really doomy mood. They are still the best vtuber agency, don't get me wrong. If you're considering getting into one, Holo should be your biggest priority, but it's hard not to see that Hololive is not at its best shape. And similar to the Nijisanji video I made a couple months ago, I'll be going over the timeline of events that started this trajectory, especially with the graduation. And then I'll go over and share where and who the
Oh, what a beautiful outfit.
graduated talents are now.
What a
Or if
beautiful
you're more
outfit.
interested in that, this video will be chaptered, so you know, go where you need to go. Let's start the timeline in 2024. January 2024 was Yozura Mel's termination. This was very unfortunate. We didn't really have any details. We had some schizophrenic rats, but what we were able to tell was that she violated some contract terms in some way, and Yago had to pull an old yeller on her ass. Shortly after though, she became active again in her PL. In fact, she's always been active on her PL sporadically. But without Mel as an IP now, she's resorted to becoming a full-time indie, then committed to have a full-blown model by October of this year. February 2024, Salengate happened. I don't really have a big reason to bring this up other than saying how it bit us Hololive fans in the ass because we were super smug. You know, we were saying shit like how Hololive wins by doing nothing, only for the latter half of the year to absolutely, you know, screw us over. There was practically nothing significant that happened from March to June of 2024, but when June actually came, A-chan, an unofficial OG member, here since goddamn 2017, has graduated.
Unofficial member? What does that even mean, unofficial member? Friend A will be leaving Hololive production. Achan. Wasn't Achan a manager? Question mark? Staff? Was staff? Do I remember this correctly? Okay.
Leaving the company after about 7 years. Sadness came about, and many speculate it's due to her obligations to her sickly family members. It was sad, but it felt like it was bound to happen eventually, especially coming from one of the OG Hololive members. But then suddenly, the following month, Gamma from Holostars got terminated. It's a news not much people cared about, but it certainly caused a bit of ruckus on the Holostars side of the community. People were blindsided and not much people knew what to think of it, to be honest. But then literally the next month after that, one of the biggest graduations in VTubing happened. In fact, it perhaps is the biggest. Minato Aqua, an era-defining figure, was stepping down, stating disagreement with management. This graduation kinda had fans, including myself, presuming that she probably won't continue to be a VTuber anymore, but we'll get into that later. Coming in with the streak to back-to-back departures, Amelia Watson hit us with a 4th hit combo.
I remember this one.
Announcing her affiliate status?
Which is so weird, by the end, affiliate status. Why did they want to keep her? And then they brought her around again for something, which was like, what? That's so weird.
Not as bad of a news as we might have expected, frankly. She just basically meant that she would stop streaming as Amelia Watson, but that she or Hololive was still going to be working together in some capacity and will still participate in some events occasionally. A lot of goslings kinda half expected or wanted her to become staff, but she shut down those rumors quickly. And to finish the 5-month streak, Cover Corp got into a bit of a government-related drama in October of 2024 when the Japanese FTC hit them with a notice and forced them to pay artists that they had not paid for revisions and for models and stuff. Looked really bad PR-wise, especially because a lot of people were looking for more reasons to criticize the company. And not paying artists is probably one of the bigger sins you can commit as a business. But it was about to get kinda oof. Because in that same month, both Watson and Aqua just reincarnated, with Aqua's new reincarnation debut breaking the VTuber world record and setting entire new precedents for Japanese VTubers.
Puke viewership was extra 383,000? Holy!
Doobie came back with a very familiar looking model. Watson was the first Hololive EN VTuber who reincarnated as an entirely new entity at this point. Most people expected her to go back to her old PL, but her reincarnating into a still yellow appearing La Criatura was a bit of an interesting decision. Now this fucked up Cover Corp's PR in a lot of ways. It placed stink bombs all over the Hololive management department. People were starting to feel like something smelly was afoot, but could not exactly place what it was. And with the sixth plane that hit the tower, Sakamata Chloe, Hololive's CEO of at the time, announced her affiliate status in late November.
Also affiliate.
Still kind of a graduation, not gonna lie. The move basically nuked her entire Gunner audience and all the Russia unicorns that moved over to simp for her instead. God, what a waste of a model, honestly.
Bro, her model is so good. Like design, oh my god.
Yeah, I was gooning for her. The amount of Rule 34s should tell you I'm not the only one. And not even a week later, Ceres Fauna announced her graduation. Saplings were about to commit suicide. Both Chloe, Fauna, and Aqua all said the same thing. Disagreement with management. In a year where everyone, including yours truly, expected Hololive to mog on Nijisanji because they f***ed earlier in the year, Holo was hit with a 7-monthly back-to-back drama for 6 months straight. 6 months and 7 dramas. 6-7! It was hard not to feel the doom posting in late 2024. It only seemed like V Shoujo was the only one that was thriving.
That segment was so trash I actually coughed while recording.
But don't worry, it was about to get low-key worse. January of 2025 was when Chloe and Fauna ceased their activities, but that was also when Nimi Nightmare debuted, leading us to believe that Fauna has been planning for this graduation in quite some time.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Although it wasn't a full-blown debut, she
So cute. Her chibi's so
just
cute.
had a chibi version specifically. And in March 2025, Murasaki Shion, Lolly Belly Goddess of Hololive, announced her graduation. This was another big hitter in Hololive, coming to step down. On late March was also when Nanashi Mume of Hololive English announced her graduation, citing health concerns, and that—
Bro, we're just speeding through all of these, bro. Oh my god. Like, just like seeing one graduation after another announcement is just making me feel like all over sad again. Like, holy brother.
dreaded disagreement with management. Or I guess internal misalignment was the wording they used. Similar to Myth, Promise were down to 3 members. Not a good look, though I suppose the thing about Mume's graduation was that it seemed like it leaned more towards the health concerns more than the internal misalignment. Mume has had a lot of health breaks since like 2023, so we may perhaps fly with a bit of hope that Hololive was doing okay management-wise, and that Mume just wasn't able to do a lot of their idol-related projects and requests. April 2025 though was when it got super crazy.
Oh boy.
Firstly, that was when Shion and Mume graduated. Secondly, Sakamata Chloe reincarnated into Amagai Ruka, reaching milestone that she had passed through before, and even reincarnating alongside a partner, Apare Hinata. Both would be the indie unit Weather Planet.
Indie unit, interesting.
Pecora also had a bit of a drama because her Pokemon Emerald stream used a modded cartridge which Nintendo was not too happy learning.
Good luck, especially in Japan. Like, Japan is like, good luck.
About. But it's a bit of a contained nothing burger drama to be honest. But what wasn't a nothing burger was Gargura's graduation announcement. You know, Gura. Only the biggest VTuber to ever exist. And of course, the reason was that ever-dreadening disagreement with management. It became a bit of a meme within Hololive, honestly. And what makes it worse was that Gura has been inactive from Hololive for a long time. Bro's stream schedule was honestly cooked, so there was reason to believe that perhaps Hololive was holding her back or was in some way a part of the reason why she wasn't streaming all that much. Especially if you were to believe what Schizos were trying to interpret from her graduation song Ash Again. I distinctly remember this announcement dividing the Hololive fanbase in a way. It was a bit of a doom-posty feel around the industry where everyone, even if they tried to deny it, just had a feeling that something was wrong with Hololive. In May, Gura finally graduated, and everything was quiet. In June, Gura came back, as expected, now in the form of Sameko Saba. She had a bit of a brush with the anti-lolly fanbase, as well as a lot of schizophrenic reactions. It was surprising that some of it came from her own fanbase, which is weird, because, you know, Gura has always been a lolly. Anyway, sure enough, she breached 1 million subs pretty easily. seemed to stream a lot more consistently, and overall, a lot of happy fun times for the lost chumbuds who now call themselves kanikis. Kani. Keys. And, kani, Japanese of crab. It's a play on words.
Yeah.
In July,
God,
Kurageo Roa
man.
debuted, formerly Shion, and also Yubari Rei, formerly fucking A-chan. I guess A-chan wanted to come back and stream as herself and as a creator rather than just staff. As she said,
fair enough.
just that she wanted to do things a lot more freely. Very interesting stuff. Shachi, formerly Nanashi Mume, also made a small video, although nothing too grand. But in terms of drama, nothing really happened. In fact, Hololive needed a bit of a win or a breather, so their world tour was a badly needed respite from all the graduation waves. We've also had a bit of an assurance that there wasn't going to be any Hololive EN graduations for the next few months, so
are you sure?
the storm has passed, so to speak. In September, Nodoka announced her departure, leaving Hololive at the tail end, aiming to pursue other activities and career paths outside Hololive. So that's like 0 company staff members that's also a mascot that has their own careers in Hololive. Except maybe Omega Alpha. Where the f is Omega Alpha anyway? But in October, Ao of Regloss suddenly graduated without a stream and without any incident, it seems. It's like she just disappeared, and while Regloss fans were confused, a little doomposty even, her PL assured fans some days later that she's okay and does not want to stream all that much. Who was not
Fair
okay
enough.
was Chammers, as on later on in October, she had a bit of a mental breakdown. She streamed normally until eventually crashing out, talking about how isolated she felt, talking about stuff that might have broken NDA, like, a lot of passion projects being refused, and like general extreme anxiety, like the dangerous kind. She was promptly put on a mental health break by CoverCorp, and all we can really do is just support her at this point. In November of 2025, Shachi on a second channel, Shachi 2, also streamed for the first time, although it was a drawing stream with no mic, making it clear to people that while she wanted to hang out, she was just coasting. No full-blown comeback in the same capacity Mimi Nightmare and the others did. December, however, held a major graduation, Amane Kanata, who cited, you guessed it, disagreement with management.
Oh, here we go
Although it
again.
stemmed mostly from her health issues, it seemed that CoverCorp failed to accommodate her unique condition, and because of that, was rendered unable to continue being a streamer and an idol even further. She mentions that she had to do stuff beyond her role and her scope as a VTuber, and had to suffer an unsustainable and mental physical stress because of it.
Jesus, man, what the hell?
She made it clear that she was going to stop being a creator and go back to
Bro, if she went through that, like, she probably, said more than she should have said. But if she said that, then definitely others went through the same.
being a normal person, even flat out giving away her stuff to other Hololive members. So that's like 5 departures, all of them being neutral at best and low-key bad at worst. 2024 and 2025 is kind of a new year for CoverCorp, but 2025 was bad for everyone in the industry. Shoujo exploited, Nijisanji also had to deal with some bullshit. The indie scene also got It wasn't a fun
Don't even.
year to be a VTuber fan, truthfully. I'm glad I was away for most of it. And we would hope that in 2026, it would get a little better. Maybe. This year isn't over yet, so let's talk about
Yeah, we're like halfway
the
through.
stuff that happened up till June. In January and February, nothing happened, but they did announce their audition for a new unknown project called Mac Park. They were also prepping for Holo Expo. In March, Holo Expo time, baby! And in the later half, Suisei announced the establishment of her personal agency,
Oh yeah, I heard about that. I'm still a little bit confused on how that
Studio
works.
Seller. This basically made it so that Hololive will no longer manage Suisei and her projects, but the IP still belongs to them. Instead,
That's so interesting.
the management of Suisei and her project is relegated under a different management firm called Nerd Inc., which has been helping Suisei for a long time now. Suisei is still part of Hololive, but her projects and stuff aren't bound by CoverCorp's whims and rules anymore. Huge, to be honest, especially if any talent are able to do something similar. In April, Holostars JP got restructured.
Oh my god.
And by restructured, I mean literally CoverCorp will stop supporting them.
That's insane, by the way. That is so insane. I remember this, man. Oh my god. Imagine you're one of the talents, bro. I'd feel so freaking disheartened. This is actually insane to do. Bro, if that was me, I'd graduate. Like, absolutely. Like, what's the point of this anymore? Like, I get, like, big name attached, like Hololive overall, but you don't have funding. What's the point? You're just working for them to take your money. They absolutely just graduate.
As a part of a reorganizing process, I suppose. This means that music production, merch, company studio use, and major events and promos are something Cover Corp will no longer contribute to. This caused wide backlash, obviously, and each Holostars JP member had to think about their future. Some of them crashed out because of this too, not just JP members but also EN members, pointing out how bloated and useless some people are in that company, implying neglect, that they are taken for granted, not supported, haven't even talked to Yago.
Bro. This for a Hololive model, or like Holostars model, bro, they just created Holostars for a quota. Like, I'm telling you, man. Like, bro, this model? What is this model? Like, not to on anyone, right? But I know, like, Hololive specifically, like, you expect them to have good models. Not shitting on the artist or whoever created this, but you'd expect a higher industry standard at this point. Like, what the hell?
EN members also revealed
look at
that
those
this is
models.
also bound to happen to them if they don't please the corporate overlords and our beloved shareholders. We all love
like, my chibi is better than that.
the shareholders, right? And in May, Calliope Mori caused a bit of a ruckus.
I remember this
When
too.
she posted on her members about feeling disrespected and undervalued by the company, sharing further sentiments that there are some people who took advantage of her lack of complaints within the company. She also went on a hiatus and left people feeling very concerned about the state of Cover Corp. She returned 2 weeks later and further expanded that the reason why she did this was to protest what was going on in Cover Corp. According to her, EN as a whole is undervalued within the company and neglected, to a point that some people in the company don't really even know the members. She's also had some complaints about merch splits, as well as concerns about the EN concerts, and
she's so based for doing that, man. She's so based for doing
that she intentionally caused all this commotion as a form of protest. Of course, she explicitly says that she won't leave Hololive. She loves this place, all her criticism is out of a place of love, but that she won't be silent about bullshit like this happening in the future, and that if this does happen again, she will just go on a strike. Again. But the drama wasn't over on May. In the middle of the month, Hololive, Hololive's sandbox game that they spent nearly half a decade developing, is coming to a close. A project that they sunk $20 million into since late 2021. Think of all the cool stuff and infrastructure Cover Corp could have had with that $20 million. All wasted because they bought into the metaverse hype. That is actually crazy. People even barely did anything with Hollow Earth. I logged in.
I didn't even know this existed.
Once, chatted around, and others participated in some concerts, but nothing really major or, useful. What a waste, man. May isn't over just yet though, as following all these dramas, Cover Corp also released their financial report. Overall, the numbers were just not good. Yago and the CTO took a 20% pay cut, and there's a sentiment of using this year, and perhaps even the next year, to reflect and, change course. Yago is now even taking back a management role and is now the head of their management department. Later on, Holostars JP members decided what they wanted to do and announced the results of their axing. Half of the Stars members were leaving. Massive oof, but hey, at least, May was a bit of a heavy month for Cover Corp, but as a seedling of potential future growth, they finally revealed what Mech Park was. It was a virtual talent academy-like project where 3 talents and a director train and try to grow and establish a fan base, actively monetizing, building hype, and marketing for a pre-debut phase of their budding idol career. And after 2 years, if they pass, then they actually get to join Hololive.
That's so weird. That feels so weird. I don't know. So spawn camping VTs? It's like joining an idol school. Maybe it could be a good thing. I don't know. I'm not sure. I think I need more info on all of this to really know if this is good or bad.
One may find a bit more than a bit of issues with the structure of the project itself. I personally have a very optimistic outlook on it. As a side note, Hideyoshi Ao from Regross also made her comeback in late May. In June, all the Holostars JP members that said they were gonna graduate this month finally graduated.
Understandable.
while some like Xian is slated to leave this July instead. And that's pretty much the timeline of Hololive incidents up until this point.
So many graduations. Who had more graduations, Niji or Hololive? Probably Niji, right? How many graduations did Niji Sanji have? Like, no way Niji. Like, no way Niji doesn't win this. Niji, Sanji, and its international branches have seen over 40 graduations since age. Okay, over 40? What does that mean? That could mean 42, that could mean 60. Over 15? Does this include Hollow Star? Including Star. 29 including Hollow Star. Okay. That's coming close to it though. Like Niji Sanji, obviously bad, real bad. But damn, we're creeping close to that
They've
number.
had a sizable number of graduations, but now, let's see where these people are at. I'm only going to talk about the graduations that happened from 2024 to 2025.
Okay.
Not including Holostars members and Kanata, obviously. Let's start with Yozoramel, who is now Hanamiya Rika. Her content doesn't seem too different from her Yozoramel days of casual chatting and ASMR, although she now sometimes incorporates a little bit of IRL streaming from the comfort of her bedroom.
Yo,
her average viewership
that's so cute.
is around 1.5k to 3k.
That's great!
But like a lot of ASMR streamers, viewerships spike and vary if she does ASMR or if she does IRL content.
Yeah, that makes
with a
sense.
notable instance reaching up to 5 to 6k. Achan is now Yubari Ray, who does a lot of casual talking and interactive type stream, averaging around 1,000 viewers. They're short and casual though. There's not a single stream where it exceeds 3 hours, but a bulk of her content are also just vlogs and pre-recorded videos where she talks with other VTubers. It's a bit different from a lot of other content that VTubers you might be familiar with are doing. Minato Aqua is now Yuki Sukuna. Her content is also just similar to Aqua, lots of gaming, just chatting, and the occasional karaoke. You'll feel right at home here as an Aqua fan. She averages 10k viewers. Her viewership of Aqua got cut roughly by half, if not a little bit more, but I suppose the drop in viewership is made up for the fact that she doesn't have to pay Cover Corp their Yakuza
Also true.
money.
Also
Sakamata
true.
Chloe is Amagai Ruka, averaging 2k viewers. See, Chloe, at least in the English side of things, is known to be quite unhinged and chaotic. Lewd, peak material even. And you have to understand how much people made of her. And while she's not necessarily like that all the time on streams, there are multiple instances where she's just off kilter. Now, Amagai Ruka, even from the character design alone, is different from that impression.
That's way more tame, yeah.
She seems not like Chloe. You shouldn't necessarily take my word for it though, as I haven't really watched any of Ruka's streams since then, so you can call me out for any inaccuracies regarding
But at least, like, her design was more tame.
this one case. Shion is now Karage Yoruwa, and as you can see, the designs are entirely different as well.
I'm sorry for covering the designs. I'm so bad at this. Yeah, we can like skip through them real quick. Through the ones I was covering. Here's one of the designs. Here, very pretty. Very
the
cute.
designs are entirely different as well,
But very
minus
cute,
the
very
fact
cute.
that they are lollies. Unfortunately, was never too much of a Shion fan, even as a clip watcher, so I don't really have any insight to give. Amelia Watson is now obviously duped. She now streams at least once a week, doing a bit of everything, so still kind of the person Watson was, although she's definitely coasting it. Seems to me like she's made enough money and has something going on IRL. She averages these much viewers.
Wow!
The saplings that have themselves have been resurrected by the nurse, Navy Nightmare, who averages actually pretty decent numbers, and it actually even feels like Fauna and Nimi personality-wise have almost no difference. I mean, yeah, Nimi is a lot more expressive and freer now.
I remember. Is this the one? I don't know. I remember when she announced that she's getting married. Holy man. Holy. Holy.
With some unicorns being unable to watch her anymore because she announced she's married.
Yeah.
But vibe-wise, it's like nothing changed.
Well, she is married, not going to get married, I guess.
Gargura, obviously,
Yeah.
notoriously, Sameko Saba, content is the same, though it feels like she's a lot more freer and expressive and happier as Saba.
Also, the same missing, same no stream, same big breaks as previously. So
But the lack of streams is still an ongoing thing. She recently made an announcement that she'll provide a larger explanation about her health concerns, but also disabled her memberships last month. Perhaps following the discussion around her a couple weeks prior, where fans were expressing disappointment
God.
and canceling on memberships due to the lack of content and streams.
Man, just content creators don't owe you an explanation as we saw last video, man.
Her average viewership is around 10 to 15k. Sometimes
Wow.
dipping a little less or more than that depending on what she's doing and the time that she's doing it. Mume is obviously Shachi, although she streams a lot more peacefully on a sub-channel called Shachi 2, with her even flat out saying that she's probably not going to go on a full-blown return or do anything on the main channel.
That's
but
fair.
You know, maybe plans change. Mint Fantome also said something similar, so we don't know the future. I actually tune in occasionally when I catch her live, so I know for a fact that she averages 3 to 4k. Always
Wow.
did like my Mume. And lastly, Ao is now Komori, although she does have a flesh channel. I can't say I know enough about her to give a little bit of a description, cause while I do like regloss, my eyes have low-key been zeroed in on the sexy one and the nerdy one. She also just debuted in May, so it's hard to say on whether or not her numbers right now will continue to remain as it is or grow a lot more. I think I'll wait for the viewership to settle, but as it stands, she averages around 1.5k to 2k. And there you have it. All the girls found exactly where they are. Do note though, a lot of the numbers I provided are based off of what I saw when I recorded this video, mid-June 2026. The estimate I provided are numbers I've eyeballed based off of the data available at the moment. So account for a margin of error of at least like 10% or like 20% at most. Heck, by the time you've watched this, the numbers might even have changed now. In any case, I hope you enjoyed this video. Go on ahead and find your long-lost Oshis if you haven't already, and also like the video, comment on it, or too, I guess. I'd appreciate it. Also, I'd like to thank my patrons and members for keeping the lights up on this channel, and I hope you keep supporting me.
Wow.
Anyway, that'll be it.
Whoa. Wow. Clappy. No, nice video. Nice quick video. Nice quick summary. Yeah.